So I want to kind of start off a bit about what, hustle culture actually means. And that's basically heavily associated with the fact that you are working all hours, working all days, responding to emails any time of the day, and you almost like strive to like answer an email at 3 a.m. because that will make you look cool, make you look committed and passionate about what you do. And that's kind of stemmed from, people who are successful entrepreneurs and have a great platform and influence like, Gary Vaynerchuk or Mark Cuban, who are literally like walking millennial motivators, right? And all they preach essentially is, work hard, hustle, grind it out, and that's the only way you can succeed. And I think a lot of times what you've seen, and I've been at fault at that as well when I was a very young entrepreneur, is that kind of visual that's being created of you always on your laptop, always on your phone, you're always working, you're always doing something, and that makes you cool, and that will make your startup succeed, right? So I just want to make sure that, what we talk about today is, helping to understand why this happened and why, hard work might and does work still, but it doesn't need to be there constantly. It doesn't need to be a hustle culture for a startup to succeed, because personally, through the experience, I feel like it's quite counterproductive and that should change. But what do you think? Like, what was your impression?
Yeah, that's the thing for me. Like, I've always been told, and I firmly believe that you can't do anything well without working hard. Like, that's what you got told throughout school, throughout education, and even like in daily life. The only way you can achieve something is through hard work. But I feel what you're talking about with hustle culture is that there's hard work here, but hustle culture is taking that to another level, and it is unhealthy and unsustainable.
Yeah, hustle culture is almost what's the amount of hours that you can physically and mentally sustain and do, rather than what you do in those hours.
And I've seen that a lot. So just growing up and reading articles about entrepreneurs, watching YouTube videos, like day in the life videos, it's all people setting an alarm at 4 a.m. in the morning so that they can open emails for 2 hours, get on with the day, and get to bed at like 1 o'clock and have 3 hours sleep and go again every single day. And it's kind of ingrained in people. That's the only way you can achieve something great, like found a startup. But is that not the case?
It can be. I don't think it should be. I think there are points where hard work is essential and needed for something to happen. And that's okay. Like you can push through and grind out and hustle for like 2 days because you just crucially need that to happen for your startup to succeed, to get that deal, to get that client, to get that user, whatever it may be. But then you need to make sure that you have enough time to recuperate, to really, replenish your energy and everything else. So you take a couple of days off, maybe take a week off, depending on how hard you went, right? Whereas, the key word is culture, right? It's okay to hustle, but it shouldn't be part of your culture, right? So it shouldn't be a case of you as somebody that's looking to join a startup immediately thinks that, right, I'm gonna join a startup, which means I'm gonna have to be working weekends all the time. I'm gonna have work nights. I'm not gonna be sleeping. I have to forget friends and all that, right? That shouldn't be the mentality you go into.